Well, I can't speak much about longevity and durability, but these held Rodney gloves are super comfortable. It's like goat and kangaroo. Kangaroo here, goat everywhere else. Wow. Plush. It's Sunday. Let's go shake off the problems. I want to thank you gentlemen for the kind words about my wife. As I mentioned in the video, she's doing fine. And I completely agree, it's the most important thing. Regarding the damage, it's all superficial, as I said. I mean, that headlight, you can just unscrew it, pop it off, and put another one back on. That's easy. It's just a matter of me deciding whether I want the freight train NASA or not. And everything else just covers and parts that can be taken off and powder coated. Like I said, I'm thinking about handlebars and gonna hold off for maybe a few more weeks before I do anything. It's not gonna be dramatic, but you might see new bars and a new light on here. You know, Harley did a great job out of the factory. Last thing I want to do is turn this thing into, you know, Fat Boy Special from 2012. I want to keep its character, even though they're very similar. They are, but once again, you deconstruct it enough, so slap it on other parts. You can't even tell what it is from a distance. Freedom Elite, man, you are the antithesis of freedom. Freedom for you, maybe, but every single person around you goes crazy. Basically, it's an elephant in the road. You might as well just get an African elephant and just drop it in the street. That's exactly what you are. You're nothing more than an obstacle, man. Do it this way. Don't think they can do it this way. Sunday is one of those days where, or any weekend day, you want to get away from the beach, you want to go riding out east. Get away from the traffic, get away from the lights. Keep moving. We don't do this to sit still. You know, having the small drops on these bikes, completely avoidable, by the way. Just put your bike down correctly. I mean, that's basically it. Use the kickstand. It's, you know, as it was designed. Don't mess with it. The one time it happened to me, I was impatient with it, and I left it disengaged. Really, it was just the kickstand wasn't engaged fully. What more is there to say? But what it really brings to mind is how much damage can be done to these things if you fully drop it. You know, I mean, the first time it leaned against the wall, the second time it was guided down by my wife, and it still had all that scratch on it. Can you imagine if it just, you know, someone came by and knocked it over in a parking lot? It would likely be worse. And, you know, what if you went down in a corner? It would certainly be worse. I saw a few comments about crash bars. You know, I was thinking of getting some Harley bars anyway and having that front bar kind of work out. Not a huge fan of the looks, but I think it'd be kind of comfortable on the highway to stretch out a little bit, or even these back roads on long stretches. It's the kind of thing you can bolt on and then bolt back off to if you don't like it. And it's not a huge investment, a few $100 maybe. One of the subscribers to the channel got a Fat Boy S, and he also got a Memphis Shades Bullet Fairing. And I've been looking around, I hadn't seen much on the internet on that fairing on the Fat Boy S, probably because the bike is fairly new and people don't want to mess with it too much. But I'm going to put up some pictures now so you guys can take a look at it. You know, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks great without it, and it looks pretty good with it too. What I can't say is how much it protects you from the wind. So what I'll ask is, I'll ask for him to comment below on how he feels it performs in terms of wind protection on the highway or at higher speeds. Get a little bit of information on this. That's another thing too. I mean, it's not dirt cheap, but you know, it's not $2,000. You can buy it, put it on, and if you don't like it, you know, just don't use it. Or only use it if you plan on going on a long trip or a longer trip. We're gonna get around you guys. Right up the gut, right up the gut. Thanks, man. You know, it doesn't get much better than this. Get the engine under you, leaning back into a backrest. Our legs are out in front of me. The engine sounds great. Warm air all around, beautiful scenery, other motorcycles. This is what the Harley's all about. It's quite an experience. With my fellow BMW guy and gal. I gotta watch myself at those lights. I want to crank it every time, but this thing gets into extra legal speeds real quick. I gotta stay ticket free for a couple of years. The socket, whoa, was disturbed. So right there, I just went to a transition in pavements. They just finished paving one portion of road, and it might be like a 2 to 3 inch lip. I just dropped off of it. That's where the suspension on the Fat Boy S, or I assume the Fat Boy Low as well, because it's the same thing. It's gonna kick you when you have abrupt transitions like that. You're gonna feel it much more than you would on a touring model, or even a Dyna for that fact. So if comfort is your absolute priority and you live on horrible roads, take that into consideration. Around here, the roads are really good, you know, so it's not a big deal. And you know, the low look is a big thing to me. I like that slammed. I like to see the back end kind of looking as if it's dragging. Really is a hallmark of the bike and kind of the whole package. It matters. I also like the feeling of being tucked into the road too. A few inches makes a big difference when you're only a few feet off the road, a couple of feet off the road. So, funny story. I have a Sena, one of those Bluetooth headset communicators, the Sena 20S. Thing works really good. Cross highway waiver there, guys enthused. I appreciate your enthusiasm. So I got a 20S, and I noticed on this bike in particular, when riding around, the thing seems to get activated by some unknown force. And it'll say to me, say a command, say a command. I'm like, I didn't ask you for a command, man. I'm just riding, stop interrupting me. And so I thought the device was just crap in the bed, or it was just dysfunctional, or it needed some sort of firmware update. So I updated it, and remained confused for a little while. The funny thing is, it started happening to my wife as well. She was my girlfriend at the time, and well, she was pretty much my wife for a while. It's been years, many years. So I'm confused here. I don't know what's going on. Again, the Harley, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what's going on. So what I realized is the collar on my jacket, when it hits wind, especially at higher speeds, because this jacket isn't a motorcycle jacket, it's just like a wax cotton jacket. So, long story short, the collar doesn't pin down, so the collar's flapping up, and apparently you can tap this device to get it to say, to activate a command. And so the collar's tapping on this Sena 20S. It's flipping up, tapping on the 20S. And activating it. So, either I can't use it, which is fine with me. I don't need to make phone calls on this thing. And the exhaust is music enough. Although I'll tell you, there's nothing like riding this bike in the desert with a good song playing. You know, it's mesmerizing. I hate to stop for gas. You guys ever have a good enough riding day where you just don't want to stop for gas? You find it annoying? It's the kind of day I'm having. We're squeezing a little scrapey before we stop for a bite.